Welcome back to the channel. And we're smoking all my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty, greats, overachieving, never slacking. So today we got the on the cusp of autumn, learning to slow down. Cozy days in English countryside, and this is by Poetry of Slow Life. Earlier in the week, I reacted to one of her videos, and I really loved it. I love the vibes, the whole autumn aesthetic that she brings, and it's my favorite season. We're on the cusp of it, so I'm super excited. With that being said, we're gonna hop right into this. Original link will be in the description. Here we go. I just randomly sneezed. I haven't sneezed in a while, guys. And you know what this actually reminds me? I watched this movie, this horror movie called The Leprechaun, right? Back, it was big in America when I was a kid. And there was this woman that was like in this setting, like where she's at right now. And I guess he had to make her sneeze 3 times, and she had to be her bride. Just all that just kind of went hand in hand just now with me sneezing and just looking at the setting. It brought me to that movie. But don't mind me. We get right back to it. But watch out for those leprechauns.
It's the end of August. Summer inevitably blends into autumn, and I am slowly coming back to myself again, to the place I feel at home the most. Thoughts are filled with memories of past and childhood and how irreversibly fast life is going by. There is this strange kind of sweetness in these thoughts, interlaced with a tinge of nostalgia. Summer is at its last breath. The season of harvest has begun. Grey clouds are swelling up with rain. Wild birds, restless, eager, painting the sky black in the distance, awaiting their long journey south.
I could meditate to this.
I missed this gloomy, humid, melancholic beauty of late summer. I don't want to rush seasons just yet, instead greedily savoring each scent, sound, flavor while it lasts. But I still can't resist autumn's distant call. I can feel her coming, and I am here, ready, in quiet but eager anticipation. Strong August winds brought change. I am now 30. To me, August serves as a reminder that time is relentlessly moving on.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trapped in my head, in fear of the future. I can almost feel each minute pass by with my entire body. This is the reminder to myself to slow down, something I honestly struggled with these past couple of months. Yes, I talk about slow living quite often. A lifestyle I adopted after quitting my busy life in London and moving to the English countryside 3 years ago. But I'm not always perfect at it. Sometimes life simply gets in the way of living, or how else should I put it? Life that is inevitably full of moments, low and high, where things that are out of our control simply just happen. And living, as in action, the choices we make to give our life a certain meaning, the meaning that is closest to our heart. I had to remind myself what living, or slow living, really is. To me, slow living is being present in the moment, something that in the overwhelming whirlwind of life is hard to achieve. Slow living doesn't mean that you have to quit or stop whatever it is that is so important. The inevitable part of life none of us can live without. The bills, the growing up, the learning, the loss, the gain. You're still busy, you're still doing things, but you remember that the only thing you truly have is this moment. Quite frankly, I haven't had a perfect summer. In fact, it feels like summer never happened at all, so these couple of weeks of quietude were really important. I painted outside in nature, finished a book I started reading long time ago. I went for a walk in the evening. My hands stained purple from ripe blackberries I picked on a windswept August afternoon. Baked a cake. I used to bake often, but realized that I haven't done it in a few months. It felt refreshing to touch ingredients again, come up with a recipe of my own. I baked intuitively, swapping ingredients for whatever I had at hand. and then had a piece of cake for breakfast each morning. I will write the detailed recipe for you in the description, with all the potential swaps and alternatives you can do. I used to somewhat pride myself in having no food allergies whatsoever, but the older I get, the more I discover that most people I know, including myself, have intolerances of some sort. I personally learned that I might have a mild garlic intolerance, which is devastating news to me. And my husband has a lactose intolerance, which is why for this cake I am swapping out dairy for some plant-based alternatives. While baking is a science, of course, I find that some ingredients are very easy to swap out to cater for particular diets, so perhaps this might come handy to you. Recently, someone commented on my videos saying, "Your videos used to be poetry, but now you're just documenting life." I don't usually respond to comments that feel negative, but I thought that this was a curious subject to ponder about. I think for any artist, and I believe that artist is a definition that can be applied to absolutely anyone who creates anything in life, regardless of whether the creation is inherently artistic in a traditional sense. Any artist creates from a place deep within. However, none of us are immune to whatever is going on with our lives. Whatever we make, for ourselves or for a public eye, is a reflection of the personal inner world, the feelings, and perhaps the current place in life we find ourselves in. I find it hard to create with an intention to purely fit a style, aesthetic, or an agenda, but rather I create whatever it is I experience at the current moment. Today it might be poetry. Tomorrow it will be a documentary. The essence, however, will still remain the same. And the more I pondered over it, the more I realized that not everything in life needs to be shared at all. Not everything needs to be talked about, monetized, done for any particular reason other than our own enjoyment. I think it's rather difficult in the current world we live in, especially being so exposed to the lives of others on the internet, exposed to news and 30 under 30 type of achievement articles. Slowing down, having hobbies, doing things just for pure joy becomes the hardest thing to do, as you find yourself doing nothing but trying to keep up. So an innocent guitar playing becomes a struggle for fame. A lovely country cottage becomes an aesthetic. A holiday memory turns into a blur, when instead of living you try to spew out the poetry that will satisfy the viewer's eyes. I've been there, done that. Sometimes people tell me, oh, I pity your generation that grew up in this environment. Same people who never get off their phone. Oh, none of us are at all immune to it these days, which is why this August I simply let myself live. I document as an artistic form of expression and as the means to share the thoughts that might reach someone in need of them. Or maybe reach no one at all. I think that's a rather hard concept to grasp, that simple, slow living thing. When the dim light illuminates the room so beautifully on a dark, gloomy day, where deep conversations flow easily and it's raining outside and you simply stay in the moment. When you tie up your windswept hair and sit quietly by the river, staring at the ripples in the water and listening to the quiet rustle of leaves. I learned to love it when at the end of a lovely holiday or a coffee date with a friend, I have no photos to share. These are the best moments. Moments never lost but imprinted so strongly in my memory. I hope to have more moments like that. Some might get documented and shared, but others will stay off record. Remember, what you're seeing is only a little snippet of someone's life. The actual living happens in between.
She's the real deal. Everything she said at the end there was it was very deep. Especially in my generation where I speak about it a lot. So many people get caught up in validation, just trying to get acceptance. That everything is either something to upload, onto Instagram or Facebook or a transaction. You get what I'm saying? Like, or everything's about a business, a transaction, and you get caught up in trying to figure out, okay, how can you make money off of this, or how can you get attention off of this, to the point where people forget to live the moment, instead of what she said, instead of turning things into a aesthetic, instead of like actually just living that moment. And that's where the best that's where the best moments happen, in real time, when you're not worried about trying to impress others or get validation. And in her words, the way she put it was literally poetry. I mean, like I said, she's the real deal. She really is. Everything about this was just very beautiful, and yeah, it's actually got me excited for my weekend coming up and the things that I got planned. This was beautiful. I love this. So the cusp of autumn, man, there was a couple things she said. She said about how August is like, it's what she said, relentlessly fast, and it just makes you realize how fast time goes. And it's just something, like I've stated before, special to me personally about the cusp of autumn, being in this transition period, being in the in between. I feel like it's a time of reflection, also because reflecting on the summer. A lot of people don't make it out the summer. A lot of people, man. I mean, shoot, a big rapper just died today. Like, like, just so much, especially currently. There's so much going on, so much chaotic things. Um, this is a good time to just sit, be thankful, reflect, and yeah, and just kind of just be in the moment on the cusp of autumn. But with that being said, that was a beautiful video. Original link will be in the description. And man, enjoy your moments. Whatever you got planned for the weekend, enjoy.